So is it okay to drink alcohol on cycle? So something really fascinating about alcohol that a lot of you don't know, because the alcohol industry spends, millions and millions of dollars convincing people that alcohol is healthy. But if you guys do a little research, you'll find out that alcohol is actually a group 1 carcinogen. So it actually increases your chances of cancer. And I've always been fascinated with people that I know that drink a lot. Pretty much every person that I know over the years that has drank a lot has ended up getting cancer. And cancer is caused by many, many things, guys. I'm not just blaming alcohol for it, but alcohol definitely makes it worse since it is a carcinogen. So let me go over some of these facts for you about alcohol, not to mention the interactions it has with steroids, but let's go over some of these facts. So when you consume alcohol, you break down the ethanol in alcohol drinks to something called acetaldehyde, and that's a toxic chemical and a probable human carcinogen. It can damage both DNA, which is the genetic material that makes up genes, and proteins. It generates reactive oxygen species, which can damage DNA, proteins, and lipid fats in the body through a process called oxidation. It impairs the body's ability to break down and absorb a variety of nutrients that may be associated with cancer risk, like vitamin A, vitamin B, folate, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, carotenoids. So if you are having that issue, that can lead to actually low testosterone levels, because you need those vitamins and minerals to produce testosterone. And finally, this is where it ties into steroid use as well, increases the blood levels of estrogen, which is a sex hormone, which is linked to the risk of breast cancer, especially in women. Men can get breast cancer, but obviously a lot of women get breast cancer because of estrogen. That's why anyone who's had breast cancer, the doctor will put them on something that blocks estrogen, like, for example, Nolvadex. They'll put them on that for like 5 years after cancer to keep that estrogen down. But the doctor may not tell them, hey, you got to stop drinking alcohol, because that alcohol contributed to your breast cancer. So we actually see 20% of breast cancer, women with breast cancer actually link that cancer to alcohol consumption. And in men, we open ourselves to a variety of cancers, like head and neck cancer, liver cancer, and other cancers of the throat area and of the stomach. So that's not good, guys. I mean, we talk about not putting bad things in our body all the time, but don't make the mistake of thinking that alcohol is healthy just because the liquor industry and the beer industry wants to push that alcohol, 1 drink a day, is healthy. And if you actually read this information, even 1 drink a day will contribute to cancer and other problems. So don't think that 1 drink a day is okay. You really should be cutting out alcohol entirely. And then when you mix alcohol with steroids, you're creating, it's like lighting a match to the fire. It's like dumping gasoline on a fire. Let me correct that little cliche, but it does, because it's actually going to strain your liver further. It's going to strain your body. It's going to prevent your body from recovering and repairing. It's going to hurt your ability to build muscle. It's going to hurt your ability to absorb nutrients. It's just all around not a good thing, guys. So the best thing you can do is drink as little as possible, guys. And I understand a lot of people like to drink or whatever, but really 0 is best. I don't drink alcohol. I haven't drank alcohol in 12 years. And I'm definitely much, much healthier because of it. I used to drink a lot of alcohol, though, in my early 20s, and I was not healthy. So I can tell you from personal experience, it's made a difference just quitting alcohol.
Yeah, Steve, you're right. It's just not a good thing to do. Now, it's not a good thing to do. It's not the right thing to do, to drink alcohol while on your cycle, or just drink alcohol, period. But if you're going to do it, you would be the only guidelines. 1, don't have any alcohol if you're on an oral. Just using oral steroids that affect your liver along with alcohol, it's not a good idea at all. So if you were to have a drink, you'd want to make sure you're not on any orals, or you finished the orals a couple weeks ago and you've taken some proper liver support and you're good. And if you do drink on cycle, it has to be very moderate. 2, 3, 4 drinks at most. I wouldn't go any further than that. It's one of the reasons in a previous podcast, I said one of the first things you want to do when you start your cycle is plan out your schedule, see what the next few weeks look like. Make sure you're not going to be in a situation where you are going to be tempted to drink socially or whatever, right? So you want to make sure that while you're on your cycle, they're not interfering with your recovery, adding additional toxicity to your body, and just doing additional unhealthy things on top of a steroid cycle, which is already unhealthy in itself, right? And what Steve said is, yeah, you don't want to add more carcinogens to your body. Steroids, you already have something in you that could cause cancer long term. There are a lot of androgen-dependent cancers that will grow when you inject these hormones that maybe otherwise wouldn't grow if your testosterone levels were just at normal level. You add alcohol on top of that, or smoking a cigar, nicotine here and there, you're just adding a bunch of carcinogens to your body at the same time. And these lifestyles are contradictory. They're not in sync. You know, the drinking and nicotine and kind of party lifestyle, it's just contradictory to our healthy lifestyle of getting into bed early, getting up early, and, you know, doing useful things with our days instead of just being, you know, hung the fuck over and feeling like shit. So definitely not it's just a contradiction. I think if you have to go on a forum and ask if you can drink alcohol with steroids, you probably should address your alcohol issues before getting on cycle. Because really, if you're really on like an 8 to 12 week cycle and you find yourself needing to drink socially more than once or twice in that 3-month period, then there's some core lifestyle issues you need to deal with. You shouldn't have drinking come up socially in your surroundings that many times during your cycle. You need to maybe stick with friends that don't like drinking and try to set yourself up with buddies and people to do some activities in the early mornings on the weekends, so you're not tempted to hang out with the wrong people and go out and indulge in alcohol when you've got a bunch of chemicals flowing through your body that just don't sync well with alcohol.
There was actually a study done on physical hormone dependence. I don't know if you saw that, Rick, but it's actually a chart you can pull up. And believe it or not, alcohol is almost as addicting as tobacco. And it's actually pretty much in line. It's more addictive than stuff like benzos or LSD or weed or ecstasy, et cetera, et cetera. So it's pretty fucking addictive.
It's one of the few withdrawals you can die from. Alcohol is one of the few withdrawals you can actually die during withdrawal, alcohol withdrawal. Not like that with opiates or other, you know, other drugs, but you can die from withdrawing of alcohol. It's incredible.
And guys, I've always been fascinated by the whole beer thing, because all beer is just grains, barley, and water mixed in a can, and people drink it like it's, I don't even understand it. I've never thought beer tasted good. I always thought it tasted like shit. Maybe like a Smirnoff or something that was like a malt type of beer, like that's more sweet. I mean, I used to drink that in my early 20s. I never thought beer was good. So, but what happens is you start drinking it. And like Rick said, you get addicted to it. And you start having withdrawals, and now you want beer. So that one beer a night turns into 2 beers a night, turns to a half pack, a full pack, et cetera, et cetera. And there are people that drink like a pack of beer a day. And the whole beer belly thing is a real thing, because really there's nothing in beer that's healthy for you. It's just, like I said, it's barley and oats and stuff, but it's like processed. It's processed garbage, and it's just going into your stomach, and it's just going to your gut and building your gut. So it has absolutely no place in fitness, guys. So wean yourself off of this shit, and you will do yourself the biggest favor. Your results will be so much better. And I get it, okay? You might have a friend who's a big jock, and he drinks beer and he drinks alcohol, and he's still ripped. He would be even more ripped if he didn't drink alcohol, and he would be more healthy if he didn't drink alcohol. So that is for sure, guys.
And if you are like a steroid user that likes to have some alcohol here and there, it's just part of your lifestyle for whatever reason, switch from beer over to maybe whiskey. Good whiskey might be the best option. If you're just looking for an alcohol delivery method, whiskey might be the lesser of the evils out there. And again, you got to understand that it's an alcohol delivery method. You're not really enjoying the taste of beer. You're not really enjoying the taste of these spirits. You're just finding a way to deliver alcohol because of the way it makes you feel when you're on it. And look, I can understand. I suffered with anxiety for many years, and I just roughed it out. But I noticed if I had a beer or two, it would just calm the anxiety down. It was real scary. And I realized how people can quickly get addicted to alcohol if they have a lot of internal issues, because it'll take some of that fear away. I mean, it makes you feel different. So going back to it, look, idea is if you're a steroid user, you shouldn't be a drinker. Those two lifestyles do not align. There is no yin and yang in those two. If you're going to drink socially a couple of times a month, just don't use steroids. Hit the gym here and there, do some natural products. Just don't use steroids. It's not for you. It's not the lifestyle that you really want to pursue.